Yeah, that's right. Kicking off the show with the Tony Danza Tap Dance Extravaganza, their latest track, Say When. They're making a comeback. It's Peaches here. It's Tuesday, March 10th, 2026. If you want to get a hold of me, of course you can, over at 208-535-1015. I saw this article earlier this morning and wanted to talk about it here at the start of the show. The headline from East Idaho News, drooling into your pillow could be a sign of a more serious issue. And it made me automatically think about how I drool when I fall asleep. Let's get TMI here. Let's share secrets. Why not? When I sleep, of course, I have my CPAP. I've talked about my sleep apnea plenty of times on the show. I wear my CPAP. I wear the hose, wear the mask. Everything's a full face mask. So when I drool, it goes right into the CPAP and then the dry air because, let's be honest here, I never really fill up my tank with water. I was just talking to Josh from Classy 97 about this, how like any single time I put any amount of water into my CPAP, I wake up in the middle of the night and that thing's making a popcorn sound. My hose, the hose right there by my face, it's making a little pop, 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 pop sound. Super annoying. It's downright dreadful. So I just empty the entire thing of water, goes back to normal. I fall back asleep. There we go. It's easy said and done right there. Well, when I drool and then the dry air hits the drool, it dries it up and it turns it into flakes. I'm glad we're a little past lunchtime talking about this, too. It turns it into little flakes. You ever see one of those cash machines where the dollar bills are flying everywhere? That's what it kind of looks like with my drool flakes. They start tickling my lips, and it feels like it's a little funny feeling. It feels a little weird, and I have to take the mask off and get the flakes out of there. It's so disgusting. I know. Again, this is Peach's Pip Party on this fine Tuesday. Just saw this article pop up, figured I would talk about it. What is exactly the serious issue that I now need to worry about? I was thinking about calling off today because last night I could not sleep whatsoever. I talked about it on the show that at 5 p.m. I was just ready to fall asleep for the next 12 hours. But then once 9 p.m. hit, wow, was I awake. Didn't even go to bed till like 12:30. Then woke up at 7:30 by my alarm, but it took me forever to fall asleep. I panicked in the middle of the night thinking so many things were wrong. I don't even want to read this article because I don't want to overanalyze my drool happening in my sleep and think there's another thing seriously wrong with me. That's enough of this, all right? I'll find some other fun stuff to talk about here on Peach's Pit Party on K-Bear 101. I found a thread where women listed things they only discovered after living with a guy. Again, I'm saying the word woman wrong. Isn't it like woman? Woman? No, let's look it up. How to properly pronounce woman. Women? Yeah, it's just women. So, okay, there we go. There you go, Jade. I made you happy with that one. Women. I found a thread where women listed things they only discovered after living with a guy. It turns out that we are all running the exact same operating system. Apparently, we only own like 5 shirts total. Just rotate them forever, not for a while, forever. Like we signed a lifetime contract with Old Navy back in like 2011. I have the same JCPenney t-shirts that I wear. They're a size 3XLT. They're comfortable. I hardly ever wear my regular 3XL or 2XL t-shirts anymore just because I like the length. I like to have the comfort, I'm wearing an Adidas one right now that was on sale. I always go to the clearance rack and buy them for way, way cheap there. What else is on this list? Taking off a t-shirt. Women learn we grab the collar and just yank it over our heads like we're escaping a burning building. Efficient, no drama. Now, what's the way to properly take off a t-shirt now? Is there a way? Should I follow this guide? Nah, I don't want to take my t-shirt off here in the studio today. Also, the sound effects for this question here. What are men's habits you discovered only after getting a boyfriend or a husband? Asking women of Reddit this question. Or should I say women of Reddit on this question? The sound effects, nobody told them that existing as a man requires noise. Sit down, oof, stand up, arg, bend over, that breathy exhale like we just finished moving a couch, that type of thing. Somebody did say that their boyfriend or husband, I don't know which one, always thinks about the Roman Empire. And I'm thinking like, I've never thought about that ever in my entire life. I did think about it when the trend popped up, but that was about it. Do I really care about the Roman Empire? Not at all. Here's some Alter Bridge. Silent Divide. If you want another thing to worry about, this 1,300-pound NASA satellite is set to crash down to Earth today after 14 years in space. But luckily enough, though, most of the probe is expected to burn up as it re-enters the atmosphere, NASA said. Although some components are expected to survive re-entry, there is a 1 in 4,200 chance of anyone on Earth being harmed. Noting that the risk is just low, all right? It's not zero, it's low. The probe and a twin spacecraft, the Van Allen Probe B, were sent to explore Earth's permanent radiation belt and determine how particles within them are gained and lost. Science stuff and all of that. And, well, who knows? Maybe somebody here all of a sudden just gets pelted with a piece of space debris. Or maybe it just lands somewhere, makes a big boom sound, and then somebody on the Life in Idaho Falls Facebook group decides to stupidly post, "Did anybody else hear that loud boom? Anyone?" So I'm friends with my extended family on Facebook, but I don't necessarily follow them. I don't see their posts on my feed because my Uncle Sonny, he would share the dumbest crap. He would share these just very, what's it called? Like life lessons people already know. So I unfollowed him. Then his wife, my Aunt Lori, started sharing this type of boomer crap on Facebook. And I've seen it not only pop up from them, but I've seen it pop up everywhere on Facebook. Those posts that say, "I hereby declare Facebook cannot use my photos," typed like it's a magical spell from the Constitution of Hogwarts type of thing. Apparently, if you copy paste a paragraph, Mark Zuckerberg personally sees it and goes, "You know what? She got us. Shut it down, boys." That's not how the internet works. That's like standing in your driveway yelling, "I do not consent to traffic," and expecting cars to just evaporate. And every version starts with, "A legal spokesperson said," "Oh yeah, like which spokesperson? From where? Like where?" It's like those people that say, "I heard blah, 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 blah." Like, give me a credible source. And I love the dramatic energy that comes with these posts here. If you do not repost this, Facebook owns your soul, your photos, your childhood memories, and possibly all of your recipes. Those same people post their full birthday, hometown, pet's name, the street they grew up on, but think a copy-paste paragraph is digital garlic against the tech vampires. Like, come on now. If Facebook worked that way, the terms of service would just say, like, unless, Aunt Lori says so. And the best part, the post always ends with, what's it end with? It was something funny. I completely forgot it. Let's see. It's one of these posts right here. I'll say the full thing. Better safe than sorry, just in case you missed 60 Minutes, like, they had to put in some generic TV show. A legal spokesperson advised us to post this notice. This violation of privacy can be can be punishable by law. Note, Facebook Meta is now a public entity. Every member must post a note like this. If you do not publish a statement at least once, it will be technically understood that you are permitting the use of your photos as well as the information contained in your profile status updates. Goes on to say, "I hereby declare that I do not give Facebook Meta my permission to use any of my personal data." It's in all caps, by the way. "I also don't give AI permission to look at my internet presence, period. I do not agree to let anyone offer me AI without my specific authorization or permission, blah, blah, blah. Copy and paste to your page. Thank you." One of our loyal listeners posted a whole paragraph going against it, too. That reminded me to talk about this crap today. It's so funny how old people will fall for this crap. Or they'll say, like, "I don't want my information shared." They'll copy and paste that paragraph. But then, like a very obvious scam, someone will call them and ask for their credit card information, and they'll just give it right out. Watch over the old people, okay? Make sure they don't fall for a scam. A little over a week ago, the Atlanta Hawks announced a promotion honoring one of the most iconic businesses in their city, the strip club Magic City. While the promotion, scheduled for March 16th, was more about their traditional lemon pepper wings than the dancers, there was debate. Some people supported the idea, others criticized it. I talked about that one player that wrote an open letter saying, like, we should not have this, that whole thing. Well, the NBA Commissioner Adam Silver stepped up and canceled the event, describing his ruling as the right decision for the broader NBA community. Whatever. Yesterday, it was a busy day in the NFL. Teams and free agent players were allowed to start negotiating. Former Miami Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa, I don't know how you say his last name, Tua Tagovailoa, joined the Atlanta Falcons. Future Hall of Famer receiver Mike Evans, he moved from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to the San Francisco 49ers. And then there's the most famous tight end in America, Travis Kelce, who signed a 1-year, $12 million deal with the Chiefs to return for his 14th season. Can't wait to see him just suck again. What else can we talk about here? We've heard of players giving gifts to fellow players to get a number for their jersey. But Artemi Panarin of the Los Angeles Kings had to bribe a mascot to get his preferred number. When Panarin was acquired by the LA Kings last month, number 10 was being used by his new teammate, Corey Perry. So Panarin looked for another number and landed on the number 72, which he wore in Russia and with the Chicago Blackhawks, except that number was also taken by Bailey the Lion, the Kings mascot. Panarin gave Bailey, or the person inside the costume, we guess, a Rolex watch for permission to wear number 72 alongside Bailey. However, the number sharing didn't last long. Perry got traded last Friday, so Panarin was able to scoop up number 10 again, while Bailey the Lion was still able to walk away with that Rolex. That does it for your Shot Clock Sports Update right here on K-Bear 101. Finding a job right now feels way harder than it probably should, and it's not just in your head. A new jobs report basically confirmed what a lot of people have been feeling. Hiring has slowed down. Companies are posting positions but taking forever to fill them, and way more people are competing for the same openings. You send out resumes, tweak cover letters, refresh your email 50 times a day, and hear nothing. Meanwhile, every listing says entry level but wants 3 years of experience, a master's degree, and the ability to solve problems they haven't even discovered yet. It's very frustrating, especially if you're trying to level up, switch careers, or just find something that pays enough to keep up with the ever-increasing rent, gas, groceries, life. A lot of companies are being cautious right now. Budgets are tighter. Hiring margins or hiring managers are pickier. And positions sit open longer. That makes it feel like you're shouting into the void when you apply online. And let's be honest, scrolling those giant national job sites can feel like doom scrolling without a resume attached. That's why going local can actually make a difference. If you're looking for work around here, HireEastIdaho.com is built specifically for jobs in this area. Local employers, updated listings, tools that actually help instead of just burying you in filters. If the job hunt's been wearing you down, that's a solid place to start fresh. HireEastIdaho.com. I wanted to talk some more about the job of the week, but it's not popping up for me right now. Hold on. It's at Jersey Mike's in Idaho Falls. I know that. There you go. A team member position with Jersey Mike's in Idaho Falls. They're looking for friendly, energetic, hardworking people who are ready to go above and beyond for customers while working in that fast-paced, team-focused environment. Interviews are happening March 19th and March 20th from noon to 3, and again from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at 795 East Anderson Street in Idaho Falls. Jersey Mike's offers flexible scheduling opportunities for advancement. Also, an employee discount, can't forget that. Starting pay ranges from $10 to $13 per hour, depending on experience. So if you're dependable, positive, and ready to join a supportive team, this could be a great fit. Again, HireEastIdaho.com. Find that job and many others like it at HireEastIdaho.com, connecting people with opportunity. Peach's Pit Party on K-Barrel 101. I read a story here that cracked me up. A millennial was explaining what high school looked like in the mid-2000s, and younger people were acting like it was ancient civilization. Flip phones, blurry digital cameras, waiting for songs to play on the radio like it was a scheduled life event. Your entire personality living on MySpace with a profile song that basically announced your emotional state to the world. It was really sad if you had a sappy emo track. And the fashion, you had skinny jeans back then, band tees, studded belts, dramatic side parts covering one eye, like you were hiding from responsibility. But the funniest part, the music, those dramatic scream it in the car anthems, everybody sing along. People like to make jokes about them, but when they come on, people do sing along. And apparently that era has a chokehold on people because Emo Night Brooklyn is bringing it all back. They're taking over the complex in Salt Lake on Friday, April 17th. One giant throwback dance party to the peak of emo, pop punk, and alternative heartbreak anthems. Jay Davis is going to be there for sure. If you've ever blasted these songs alone in your room like you were starring in your own music video. This night was made for you. Alt 101, our HD2 music channel, has tickets. Just download the Alt 101 app. You can even sign up on the K-Bear 101 app. You can sign up on the Cannonball 101 app again to win tickets to Emo Night Brooklyn at the Complex, Friday, April 17th. Says right here, it was never a phase. I love how in r/metalcore on Reddit, somebody asked the question, how do I know what they're saying? He goes on to say, getting into metalcore and I really like the music, but I don't know how to understand the lyrics. Adjusted the audio on my phone and car, which helps with the vocals. Do I just need to really listen that hard? How do y'all understand the screaming? For reference, I really like Era, Polaris, Architects, What Lies Below. Hey, I mean, those bands are fairly easy to understand. You haven't hit like some of the heavier, crazier bands yet. Wait till you get to grindcore. Wait till you get to deathcore, where it gets even worse. You just have to read the lyrics, honestly, while listening. And I feel like that's sort of redundant because you want to be able to sort of understand what he's saying and what they're saying. And you can, but at the same time, like some of those words, it's tough, man. I'm the one who's in charge of checking the songs for any bad language on Jank Show. Those heavy metal songs that we play every Saturday night from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. And there was one particular Oceano song. Is it Wounds Never Healed? No, it's Lucid Reality. I think that's the one. And he does sound like he's just like gargling. And it says he's saying words, but I don't hear it. You know what? I'll play it right now. Here's Oceano with that song. Try to understand what he's talking about. When Victor and I were doing the noon hour of Madness and Mayhem earlier today, I was talking to him about how these people are just so adamant about boycotting bands. Not rioting, that's a little harsh. Boycotting bands that are using AI, or so they think they're using AI. So they just automatically stop listening to them. They share a screenshot of their Spotify and they click, do not play this artist to that band. I think Meshuggah uploaded a video that does, in fact, look AI generated. But it says there's an artist with it. Like an artist did the whole thing, even shares the artist's name. People in the comments were quick to say it was AI, so now people are not really listening to Meshuggah, supposedly. Then the all-time legendary band Venom, supposedly, people are speculating that they used AI for their album cover, so they're not listening to them. But I love how Boy George, out of all people, of Culture Club, says, hey, I regularly use ChatGPT to write my albums. He says here, I've written like 5 albums already with AI. AI is brilliant, nothing to fear. I say to everyone, if you get replaced by a robot, you weren't trying hard enough. All right, so there you go. Wise words from Boy George. Maybe I should add this to the inspirational messages right here on K-Bear 101. Are you like me and missed out on the Bring Me the Horizon show last year? Well, you can somewhat see them live coming up here in just about 15 days. Bring Me the Horizon is going to hit the big screen with Bring Me the Horizon live in Sao Paulo, coming to Regal Edwards Grand Teton. It was filmed in front of 50,000 fans at Sao Paulo's Alliance Parque. This is Bring Me the Horizon's biggest headline show ever. It features songs spanning their entire discography, massive production, drone footage, immersive visuals. It puts you right there in the middle of the show. You don't have to pay tons of money for a concert ticket like what we talked about on the noon hour of Madness and Mayhem. No, you get to just pay. You don't have to pay anything because we're giving away tickets to either showing, March 25th and March 28th at Regal Edwards Grand Teton. Listen for the cue to call, B-Color 15 at 208-535-1015. Score a pair of tickets to see Bring Me the Horizon live in Sao Paulo. Again, March 25th and 28th at Regal Edwards Grand Teton, only right here on K-Bear 101. Today's What the Headline comes out of Georgia, where police had to respond to a high-speed pursuit of a tortoise. A very large tortoise, to be exact. It escaped from a high school enclosure, decided it was a beautiful day for freedom, and just started cruising the neighborhood. Neighbors saw this prehistoric tank casually waddling down the road and did what any responsible citizen would do. They just called 911. Officers showed up expecting chaos. Instead, they're dealing with a reptile. I don't know why they were expecting chaos, because it's just a tortoise. They just dealt with a reptile that moves slower than, the DMV, But here's the best part. Cops said it looked like it took a lot of muscle to lift this thing because it was ridiculously heavy. Imagine becoming a police officer and your Sunday workout is deadlifting just a tortoise. They got him back home, locked the gate, even joked that next day they'll stretch first. Meanwhile, that tortoise is back inside, hoping to break free once again. Yeah, that is today's What the Headline right here on K-Bear 101. Hey, if you want a fun Facebook group to join, Dudes Eating Bananas. Yeah, it's been popping up on my Facebook feed. 8,000 people are in here. I'm expecting mostly dudes because, well, us dudes would only find this funny. It says here in the About section, an extension and more social version of the Dudes Eating Bananas page created by the visionary Brian McGrath. Keep it classy or not. And it's literally just dudes with bananas almost in their entirety, impressively enough, in their mouths. Yeah, dudes just, going at it with a banana. I see a guy eating a banana with his whole mouth right there in what looks to be like one of those bobcat little machines, those little bobcat little tractor things, yeah. Oh, please don't tell me this is actually real. I feel like this guy's trolling. He's eating a banana with a knife and a fork. I've seen enough. Let's play some Black Veil Brides. Certainty. I was going to say this is a great question for to peach their own, and then I actually thought about it. What song has the most repetitive lyrics of all time? This is one of those times where I'll accept one of those responses that says anything by, because clearly the answer is anything by Daft Punk. Around the world. Okay, enough of that. Tequila, obviously. The Song That Never Ends, Surfing Bird. Ain't No Sunshine by Bill Withers, a classic. I have to say, the first song that I thought of was that Say What You Need to Say song from John Mayer. He clearly says, say what you need to say, over and over and over and over again. Thanks for listening to Peach's Pit Party, the podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please share, subscribe, and rate the podcast. Peach's Pit Party is hosted by me, Peaches, a.k.a. Brendan Peach, and is a production of Riverbend Media Group. For more information or to contact the show, visit riverbendmediagroup.com. Until next time, Peach out.